Hi, I'm Kathi Miller. I'm from La Habra, California, a little tiny city just outside of LA County, and I've been a nurse for only 4 years, so I'm coming to this kind of late in life, through the back door, I like to say. I have 4 children, so having a baby was one of the most significant events in my life, and I'd always heard about nurses being angels and very admirable, very trustworthy, and I just didn't think I had the nerve for it, so I picked a different pathway. I chose childbirth education and did that as a result of a very traumatic first birth. Went into that, had my second child, which was wonderful, a wonderful experience. Went on and had 2 more kids, but kept teaching, and I thought that was all I would ever do with my life. 20 years later, and 4 kids later, and teenagers, and a second husband who didn't manage to keep a job very regularly, I found myself being pretty much the sole support. And I worked in many, many different settings, the community college, for a private doctor, for several hospitals, and found that I have no retirement going anywhere. I'm just working by the hour every place and going someplace different every day of the week, and it drove me nuts after a while. I like it because I'm a little scatterbrained, but it got to be old after a while. So just on a lark one day, I thought I'll go by my old college and just see how much would it take for me to get into school. And I had about a 30-year-old AA degree from a local community college, and was so blessed to run into the nursing counselors doing the intake that day. She went over and got my transcript, grabbed the catalog from the year I graduated a long time ago, and went back over what I had, what the requirements were to get in the nursing program. And my intent was not necessarily to work as a nurse. It was just like, can I do it? Can I go to my grave with initials behind my name that look important? And that was all I was really after. So stupid me. I signed up, and I was so excited to think in another year I could get in a nursing program. And I thought maybe they would give me credit for having been alive as long as I had been, having 4 kids, having taught in the field and knowing a lot of background, and they didn't. It was based on grades, it was based on prerequisites. So I dug in, went back to school, took the same math as my last child, who was going into his freshman year, and we were in algebra together, so that was pretty fun. But I thought I'll just give it a try, and if I make it, terrific. If I don't make it, at least I tried, and I will die knowing that. So they let me in and they let me out, and here I am. 4 years later, at the ripe old age of 56. I was the oldest in my class, a dubious distinction at 52. But it was a tremendous accomplishment in that I learned how to study again. I found I was a much better student than I remember being before. Even though I was told I was smart, I didn't believe it. And everything was just one challenge after another. That holding a family together, having a kid in the Navy, being deployed twice during the time I was in school, and a very rebellious 14 to 18-year-old playing football, dropping out of football, dropping out of classes, not showing up. Very interesting time. I also was going to college with my daughter at the same time. She was entering college as I was starting nursing school. So it was kind of fun to have a college buddy who was my daughter. But I came about it really pridefully, thinking I want those initials. I'm not really sure if I really want to be a nurse. And as I got into it more, I knew it was what I wanted to do. I had no idea how vast the profession is in terms of not just what you know, but your skill level. And I had no idea what a klutz I was with my hands. It's just hard to get that much dexterity together. So it was a lot of learning, totally worthwhile. Not every day has been bliss. I've had a lot of meltdowns. I've had a lot of days I cried all the way home. I will be completely honest with you. I've had also a lot of days where I cried for good things. Cried with patients, cried over patients. And I'm in the field of maternal child nursing, so I have been everything from labor and delivery to postpartum to newborn nursery. And I like that because mostly that's normal. And I thought if I ever did anything that was not normal, if I had to go to the ER, I had to do some surgery, and there were body parts hanging out where they shouldn't be, that would really gross me out. I was really afraid to throw up on the patient or faint, and that's not good form. So I thought, I'll pick OB. OB's normal. I've seen a lot of births. I've been a coach for a lot of people. And I thought, well, that's normal stuff coming out of normal places in the body, doing what it's supposed to do, and how bad could that be? So mostly it's the happy place. I also call labor and delivery the house of pain. So I picked that because it has always been my love. Really never thought I'd stick with it. Really never thought I'd do it. Never thought I could. But I did. And I am. And now I feel like the sky is the limit. There's just no limit to what we can do. 3 weeks ago, I took a brand new job after 4 whole years of nursing in labor and delivery, postpartum, and nursery. Took a job as a charge nurse in mother and baby. And so I'm cutting my teeth in a whole new arena and find it really humbling. And yet, I think my life experience, educationally not only, but professionally, having taught, I have a lot more confidence than, say, a 25-year-old or a 30-year-old would have. I can go into a room of a complete stranger and strike up a conversation. And that's what it takes to be a nurse. It isn't just about how great you are with your hands. They don't really care. They don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, and that's really important. They don't have a class on that in nursing school. But all of your life experience can teach you to what to become, and use that wherever you can. And don't ever think you have limits. Just keep trying. And if you have to turn over and change your life completely at age 50, so what? You'll be 50 anyway. So I would recommend it to anybody, whether you have a strong stomach or not. Because I didn't, and still sometimes I have to hold my nose, but I'm doing it and I can't even believe it. Thank you very much for the opportunity.